Hello everyone, it's Davide here and welcome back to Learning Finance. In today's video guys, I'm going to talk about Square to better understand the business itself, okay? So the master plan and why Cathie Wood is saying that it can destroy banks, okay? So the only thing I ask you is to leave a like if you find this video interesting, so you're gonna help me with the algorithm, and subscribe to the channel. Let's begin. Now, Square stock, guys, it looks like that is going up forever, okay? Right now, we are having a couple of days of pullbacks, but it's not too deep, okay? And I'm quite sad about that because I was trying to add more shares, but it looks like it doesn't dip, okay? I very hope so, but let's see what happens, okay? Now, I did a fundamental valuation, a complete analysis of the company, so if you go to check it out, is this one. And anyway, I've been reading a lot in the last days about Square because when I have a stock, when I bought a stock and when I want to buy more, I like to really understand the business itself, okay? And especially when we go with this high-tech quality stuff, it's not always easy to really understand the potential of them, okay? Because I got a degree and a master degree in finance, but when it comes to understanding artificial intelligence, well, it's not easy, I think, okay? It's not easy for a lot of people out there to really understand the efficiency about it and the potential about it. Anyway, Cathie Wood. Okay, so this woman right here, and she is the CEO of ARK Invest. Okay, you see the portfolio manager Catherine D. Wood, and basically in their portfolio, they hold 8.17% of their money are invested in Square, okay? You can see it from here. And they have around $472.7 million invested in Square, okay? This is a video interview shared by Anthony Pompliano. I don't know this guy, so I have no interest in telling you about this channel, but I don't care. I think it is sharing good contents, and it's not easy to have interviews with these people, and I think he's doing a very great job to share those kind of contents, okay? So if you want to check this video here, you'll understand what she thinks a little bit about the company. And in this video, she says that companies like Square, they have a competitive advantage against banks, that it can destroy banks, okay? I would like to discuss a little bit what is this competitive advantage about, okay? Because I think that behind this, there is the real potential of Square, okay? And remember that ARK Invest, they like to invest in disruptive innovations. And they define those disruptive innovations as an introduction of technologically enabled new product or service that potentially changes the way the world works, okay? So it's quite interesting, and saying that it can destroy banks, it's a very nice and strong statement, but it makes sense in some ways, okay? So as I told you before in the previous video, Square has two ecosystems, okay? Two different ecosystems, the seller one and the cash app. Now, this competitive advantage that Cathie was talking about is mainly based on the seller side, okay? And why is that? Now, as you know, if you choose to adopt Square in your business, you're gonna get the terminal, okay? So for payments, and as I told you in the previous videos, this terminal is very useful also for accounting. Basically, all the transactions, so payments and also your expenses to buy stuff, can be stored inside this terminal, okay? So you have everything is there, and you need also a lot less of paperwork, okay? So with accounting and stuff like that, and this is very positive and time saving for a business owner. Now, where is this competitive advantage? Basically, everything is based on information, okay? So companies like Square and also PayPal, they are able to get a lot more data compared with banks. Okay, so what happens is that companies like Square, they analyze this data with artificial intelligence. Okay, so here it comes the thing. It's not always easy for everyone like us, like normal people, for people that they don't work in this tech environment, to understand the real potential of artificial intelligence. Okay, so what I get is that basically with this thing, it's very possible to analyze data in a very detailed way that allow you to understand very better the business itself. Okay, so what the business need and the risk of it, what the business is able to make, and how much are the costs, how much are the profits and cash flows and stuff like that. And they can see that through the continued data stream that flows into their terminals. Okay, so by analyzing those things with artificial intelligence and very high computer power, they are able to do screenings for capital, for loans that banks they are not able to do. Okay, now to make you better understand the difference, imagine that you have a business, okay, and you need a loan. Now there are two ways: traditional banks or Square. Now let's imagine you haven't adopted the Square system, so you have to go to traditional banks. You go there and you have to ask for a loan. It takes time. The screening process has a cost. Okay, they take commissions for it, and you have to bring them a lot of paperwork and data about your business, about what you're doing, about who you are, a lot of things. You can be rejected. Okay, so that happened. You can get less than what you need because probably you're not eligible to get the full amount, or you get what you need at a higher price than expected. Okay, probably because your risk is too high. While on the other side we have Square. If you have adopted the Square system, you have their terminal, so you are feeding them with data about your business, about what you're doing, about transactions, about how much you spend, how much you pay, how much you get paid. Okay, so they already know your situation and they already know that you need a loan. Okay, it can be quick because they already have what they needed. Because of the screening process, okay, that I told you, they analyze those data streams and they have already an idea about your credit score and about what you need and how much you can get. Okay, so it should be more efficient and cheap. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that they are gonna give you all the money you need, but the process itself is quicker, is more efficient, okay? And they are promising to serve even the unbanked, which in the US, they are a lot, okay? So people, they want to grow their business, but they are not able to get loans from the banks. Square is the answer, okay? And with this data analysis, they can do also tailor-made loans. Okay, so I imagine that you have their system and they see that you need something, so they can also notify you without waiting for you to ask them. They can also notify you. They say, hey, we see that you need that and we can offer you this amount at this rate. Okay, if it is effectively cheaper than banks, well, the system is better. Okay, and this is possible because this competitive advantage given by data, okay, the information that they are getting with their terminals about businesses. So overall, on the paper, it looks like that Square can have the power to disrupt part of the bank business, okay, which is loans and stuff like that, because of course it can be more efficient. Now, when we go to take a look at their official documents, we see that right now they are only working with micro sellers, okay, but the idea is to move to larger sellers, okay, so the mid-market and the small medium businesses. It's a huge market and the potential is very, very high. Do not forget that they have also the Cash App, which is their other ecosystem. And those two things, if they are able to grow their numbers of users, they can cooperate together, okay? Now imagine that you are a seller and you have a couple of employees and you have to give them a payroll, okay? And imagine that your employees, they have the Cash App. So you pay them directly in the cash app, and they can do whatever they want. So buy new things, invest, and imagine that they go out and they buy stuff in another place where also the seller has the Square ecosystem. Okay, so you can imagine the cooperation between those things, and the money will remain constantly inside the Square systems. So banks are not needed anymore if this really works. Okay, so now of course not everything is gold. We don't have to believe to everything, but here we see the potential. And on the other side, we have that we don't know two things. The first one is policies. Okay, so new policies, they can come out given by the government, and all this thing can be stopped, okay, or reduced, okay, to sort of protect banks and stuff like that. This can happen. And of course, even if they want to move to other countries, this can happen as well, okay, by other countries' government outside the US. And another thing that we don't really know is how this artificial intelligence is efficient. It's not easy to really understand at which levels this artificial intelligence is. It's like a new thing and it looks very promising, but it is difficult to certify with real numbers how much efficient it is. Okay, I believe anyway that the future will be bright for Square, and I remain bullish on the company overall. Okay, if they are able to do what they are planning to do, well, the potential will be very huge, and it can really disrupt part of the bank system and business. Okay, now here we have a positive feedback, which I really thank you, Frankie, for leaving me this comment, because as a community, I think it's very important, if you know something like he does, to share and leave a comment. Okay, now this guy here, he has two businesses. Okay, so Frankie, if you're watching this, I wish you the best. And basically he's saying that he has made use of their loans because of the ease of accessibility and competitive cost. So not to mention the ease of repayment. I didn't have to take docs to the bank, so this is what I was telling you before, a quicker process. Okay, fill the applications and stuff like that. And I was just approved and notified by the system, and the funds were there in 24 hours, okay? So this is a very nice feedback. If you're having an experience with Square, and just leave a comment down below, positive or negative, I don't care, just leave it. It's important for everyone to know that, okay? So let's see how things will continue to go. Of course, the stock remains very interesting, and if it goes down a little bit, I'm planning to add some shares, okay? So I hope you find this video interesting, and leave me a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video, and as always, have a wonderful day.